Hi, I'm Andrew Harrison. This is Totara Tree 99 and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to talk about the problems with topping trees. This site is a site where there's been a stand of Pinus radiata Monterey pines that were heavily reduced about 2 years ago. The reason they were reduced was the risk of them falling onto the new path. There's a shared path here, it's a cycleway and pedestrian access. There's bats, native bats in this area, so the trees were not allowed to be removed. So this is not a video attacking the tree company that made the pruning or did the topping on or reduction on these trees. This is just a video explaining what some of the problems are when we heavily reduce or top trees. As you can see on this site, the trees have had a large amount of reduction and probably 50% of their entire foliage removed. Most of the trees are now dead. That's clearly a bad outcome. There's a little bit of ground disturbance has been happening on the ground, so perhaps the ground disturbance and some of the root damage, which is only a small amount, may have contributed to the decline of the trees, but my opinion is that the main problem is the reduction. Like I said before, this is not an attack on the tree company that did it. I actually saw the people undertaking the work. They were under strict instructions from the contract manager to undertake this work. This is just merely cause and effect. This is what happens if you top trees or take a large amount of foliage off all at once. I'll take you for a wander around, we'll have a close look at the trees. Then later in the video I'll take you to another site where there's a broadleaf species that has been topped. We'll have a look at that and what's happened in that situation as well. Now obviously, because these trees behind me, the Pinus radiatas are a conifer, most conifers don't respond well to heavy pruning. In some ways, credit to the operators that did this job. They have done the best job they were able to do given the specifications that they had to deal with. They've reduced the trees, not blatantly topped them. They've cut to node, yet the trees have still declined. Now, this particular tree has clearly been in decline for a while before the pruning was undertaken, and in fact, it may have even been dead when the work was undertaken. So, you know, there's not there's not a branch left on it. So, a bit of a pole really. And you see the big tree next to it, that actually was very alive and green when the pruning was undertaken. They're quite large trees, probably, the tallest ones would have been 35 to 40 metres tall. See a little seedling coming up there, that could be a Christmas tree for someone. Other species in the stand, there looks like there's a couple of Cupressus lusitanicus, there's a cryptomeria over here. This tree is dying from the top, so all of the foliage, needles are falling off from the top. Down lower, there is still some live branches. So that's interesting in itself. Liquid amber in the distance there, and that behind it is the path. Actually, a new path, that one not quite open yet. All part of the construction of this interchange, and they're building a new bridge nearby. Actually, just looking now, observation, seems all of the trees on the edge are doing better than the ones in the middle. That's possibly because the trees on the edge have more side branches that were live, so therefore the ones in the middle that were reduced, their main foliage was at the top of the tree, and therefore the removal of only a few metres from the top is a higher percentage of foliage. Well, here we are at the other site that I mentioned earlier. This is the Castanea sativa, so sweet chestnut, and it's been badly topped. Have a look at that. So this tree is approximately 1.5 to 2 metres in diameter. It's a pretty magnificent tree. Well, it used to be anyway. This is another Castanea sativa just right next to it. Similar size and age, maybe a little bit smaller. But that's fully in leaf. That's what they should look like. when they're not over pruned or topped. There's a new house that they're building in behind, which obviously they wanted them to be, I don't know, a bit shorter so it didn't shade the house, but it's a deciduous tree, it's not going to shade the house much anyway. Just seems a bit strange to me. What I would say though is if you were the arborist that was asked to do that job, surely you would give them some other advice or just walk away. I mean, there's no way I would have carried out that kind of pruning on that tree. It's disgraceful, really. What do you think? Please tell us in the comments. Or is the customer always right? I mean, if you know the tree is going to die, really, then clearly the customer isn't right. Unfortunately, I don't have any photos or video of this tree prior to this pruning happening. In fact, I'd seen it, thought it was a magnificent tree, and that I should get a shot of it, but well, I never got around to it, so otherwise I would have something to compare it with. Anyway, that's a sad story. There's other nice trees around obviously, but one less. I need to explain what happened at the other site. So I was just packing up to go, and old guy came out from across the road and told me what really had happened at the sweet chestnut tree. And interesting how you can jump to conclusions, because my analysis of the situation was not correct. Apparently, according to Andre, the tree was in decline. There was only a few leaves left on it, and the pruning was a last-ditch effort to retrench the tree to try and invigorate it. He was of the opinion that the tree was going to die anyway. The client, his neighbour, wanted to just give it one last chance, and it was a contractor came in with one of these new high-ab grapple chopping things. They took all that top off. He also said that there was 2 or 3 other trees in that same area that had died over the last decade. The last one, I think, about 5 years ago. So it may be a soil problem. Might be just old age. That tree was not in the best of conditions anyway, but it is a good reminder that you can't just jump to conclusions. But one thing I have noticed is that these trees here, they're actually getting worse since I videoed last time, which was, I think, maybe actually 3 weeks ago now. But a lot more has died on these pine trees. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I've got other pruning videos and lots of climbing videos on this channel as well. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Okay, I'm back at the same spot where I started this video. Oh. Whoops, good catch.